Okay, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Cassie Arredondo. I'm the Finance Support Specialist here at Girl Scouts San Diego. So again, thank you for joining me this evening as we talk about troop finances and specifically wrapping up our year now that cookies is over. Woo! And we're going to start thinking about the annual financial report. So the troop financial report that's due on June 1st. A little bit about myself. Again, I'm the finance support specialist, so I work with all of our Girl Scout San Diego troops, anything that has to do with their troop bank account, anything Wells Fargo related. I work with our service units, and any troop finance related questions I can help you out with. So again, I'm going to go through this webinar and this presentation. Will be about 30 to 40 minutes at the most, and we'll take some live questions at the end too and go live, and I'll show you actually where to find all of these resources at the end. So let's go ahead and get started. So again, we're going to go through a brief introduction of what's expected with the annual financial report, go over some timelines and an overview of what the financial report is, and then talk about some specific items that are included with the annual financial report, like the financial tracking worksheet and how to download that April bank statement from Wells Fargo. So who needs to submit the annual financial report? The answer is all of our Girl Scout San Diego troops should be submitting a financial report. It's actually going to be their troop leader or co-leader who will be the one in charge of submitting that to us. In order to complete the report, it is actually a three-part process. You would upload the financial tracking worksheet, a copy of your April 2019 bank statement, and then complete the annual financial report sections on the Volunteer Toolkit Finances tab. Again, we'll go live at the end, and I'll show you how to log in and where to find the annual financial report on Volunteer Toolkit. Where do I get all the forms to complete this? If you go to our website, sdgirlscouts.org, you can download the financial tracking worksheet right now. We actually hope that all of our troop treasurers have already downloaded this worksheet and are keeping track of all income and expenses for the year. I will say that the financial tracking worksheet has been updated. So it's hopefully running and downloading a lot smoother. If you have not downloaded it, we put a new updated version on in February of this year. So you can try that again. No categories or anything have changed. It's just recreated. A great volunteer, one of our great Girl Scout volunteers, recreated the worksheet. So it's hopefully performing a lot better for everyone. How do I fill out the annual financial report? Again, we'll look at that a little closer, and I'll show you how to log in to Volunteer Toolkit to complete this. The annual financial report is going to document all of your troops' income from starting May 1st, 2018 through April 30th, 2019. These dates, these transaction dates were actually decided on last year. And so in years past, I know that those dates could have been different, but those are the dates that our entire council is going to be reporting on. So starting May 1st, 2018 through April 30th, 2019. Right now, the troop treasurer should be tracking those expenses already. We hope that he or she is doing it on an ongoing basis. That way it doesn't pile up at the end. And then once the April 30th date comes, we want the treasurer to hand that financial tracking worksheet over to troop leader or co-leader so they can then upload it and use that information to complete the annual financial report. The actual annual financial report is not due until June 1st, 2019, but you can get started on submitting it, as early as April 30th. So here is a copy of what the financial tracking worksheet looks like. Again, this is currently available to be downloaded on our SD Girl Scouts website. And it has been updated, as I said. The new updated version actually has an instructions tab, which will guide you through how to fill this out. But really, when you're filling this out, the main thing is, of course, we want troop number and who's preparing it. But we also want you to notice the category drop down here, which we'll look at in just a second. But this transaction description is so important. We need a little bit more description than what's included on your bank statement. So if you just say bonds and, troop supplies for, STEM meeting, something like that, just a little bit of description to give us an idea of what that income or expense was used for. You'll also notice these tabs down at the bottom, the income statement tab, the statement of reconciliation tab, and again, the instructions tab. This is a closer view of the category drop-down. When you click on this drop-down arrow right here, there is about, I want to say 10 to 12 predetermined categories, income categories, and expense categories that you can choose from. It's very important to choose one of those categories because they are automatically tied to the income statement tab that we'll look at in just a moment. Again, there's income categories, so you want to make sure that you're putting all of your income in the appropriate column, and then all of your expense categories in the appropriate column. And again, we'll look at that here live after this presentation. Once all of the figures are recorded in the financial tracking worksheet tab, if you click on this income statement tab, everything is going to automatically be merged and calculated in this column. Now, this income statement tab is very important, and it's basically the troop leader, co-leader's best friend. They're going to use these totals to complete the annual financial report. So when troop leaders and co-leaders are filling out the annual financial report, we are not asking them to redo the troop treasurer's work. We are just asking for the totals for the year, and this income statement is right where they will find those totals for us. Next, this is just kind of a screenshot of where you're going to go on Wells Fargo's website to download your bank statement. We're asking for the April 2019 bank statement, simply so we can see that the ending balance matches with the April 2019 ending balance on the bank statement. That's the only reason why we're asked for that. So at this point, the treasurer would have finished filling out the financial tracking worksheet, handed those items over to the leader or co-leader, and then the leader will be logging on to the Volunteer Toolkit. Right here is just a kind of an FYI. We found that Firefox and Google Chrome have the best performance, guaranteed success when you're using the Volunteer Toolkit. These other browsers, Explorer, Safari, it's kind of hit or miss with their with the way that they work. Now, when the leader's trying to log into the Volunteer Toolkit to complete the annual financial report, they want to go to that MyGS/VTK tab. It's there on the right-hand side. It's the same tab that you use to renew your membership. Click on Volunteer Toolkit, that last option there at the bottom. And then enter your login information. Your username is your email address. If you're not sure what email it is, it's probably the one that you're receiving all of your Girl Scout emails on, all your Girl Scout correspondence on. Your password, if you don't remember your password, you can just select Forgot Password here, and that will be emailed to you. So once you're logged in, you'll select Volunteer Toolkit again, and then you'll go all the way to the right-hand side and select the Finances tab. Your troop number will pre-fill for you there. And then actually this year we have a little note here that there is a how-to guide that we've created, and I've actually placed in the handout section of this webinar. But there's a how-to guide that can help you guide you through filling out the annual financial report as well. And now you're going to start entering all of your income totals. Again, these are the totals for the year, so this information will be found on the income statement tab that your troop treasurer has filled out for you. If you select council detail, that drop-down arrow there, that council detail is meant to give you some more information, a better idea of what should be filled out in that box. So for instance, troop dues collected, pretty straightforward, enter total amount of all funds received for troop dues and Girl Scout USA membership dues. Another thing to note is if you don't have any income to report in that box, if you could just go ahead and enter 0.00, and then the total income at the bottom is actually calculated for you as well. Next is the same thing, but with your expenses, total expenses for the year. And we have the same council detail there as well. And then for the financial summary screen, you do need to enter the starting balance. And again, we're entering the starting balance as of May 1st, 2018. And if your troop was not, if your troop did not start until after May 1st, go ahead and enter the initial bank deposit that you made when you started your troop bank account. Now this screen is also special because it's very similar to what all the troop parents will see once the leader has entered this information on a Volunteer Toolkit. Troop parents can actually log into their Volunteer Toolkit and they will see this financial summary screen once that data has been uploaded by the leader. The next screen that you see will be asking for some bank account information. We just need the branch that you normally bank at, the last four of the account number, and then right here, instead of the signers on the checking account, if you will actually enter the person who's completing the annual financial report instead. Again, just another reminder that the annual financial report is due by June 1st. And then we'll have some questions on there as well. What's the status of the troop for next membership year? Is your troop returning? Do you plan on merging? plan on disbanding? Are you not sure? These are just to get a feel in that moment what you plan on doing for the next year. There's nothing binding that's going to happen with any of these selections. Also, troop service unit. We have 43 service units in our San Diego Council, so you can put your service unit name there and the number. If you don't know what your service unit name is, I encourage you to go and find that, because they are a great resource for all troop-related items. But if you don't know the number, you can always just put 623. That's Girl Scout San Diego Council number. Then we have some new questions this year. We have the original questions about any balance exceeding $500. What does the troop plan on doing with those funds? Maybe you're going to renew all your girls' memberships next year. Maybe your troop's going to be bridging, so you're going to be, buying new uniforms. Just giving us an idea of what is in store for that balance. We also want to know about donations, and if you had any other income or other expenses on your financial tracking worksheet, to give a brief description of those. And then new this year is this question: would you like to be contacted by Girl Scout support staff about plans for your troop in the upcoming year? This is a great way for us to reach out and offer any type of support to our troops. So if you're interested in that, please select yes and give us a little bit of information there if you'd like. After you've entered all that information, you're going to have a chance to go back and edit the report before you submit it, and preview, all the information that you entered. Again, just another similar view of what troop parents will see if they do log back into Volunteer Toolkit. Right here where it says send to council, you might be wondering, wait, I haven't attached anything yet. Don't worry. Actually, on the next screen, you'll get a chance to attach those documents. So you do, if the preview looks good, you'll go ahead and select send to council. And then this next screen is going to allow you to attach the financial tracking worksheet that your treasurer completed, and also the April 2019 bank statement here. So once those documents are attached, you'll go ahead and click Submit Now. You'll get to preview again what you have included in as attachments. And it's going to ask you one more time, are you sure you want to submit yes? You're going to click yes, go ahead and submit. And it's going to show you attached 3 documents there, and it was sent to council. It'll also give you a very similar message. If you have an update or correction to this financial report, please contact the council. What that means is that once you submit your annual financial report, there's not a way right now to go back in and make any corrections. So let's say you forgot to attach a document, you can contact us at Girl Scout San Diego at our troop banking email address. And I will put that on the screen here at the end, but it's troopbanking@sdgirlscouts.org, and you can email any attachments or any questions or concerns you may have after you submit the report. You'll also get a receipt that you have completed the report, thanking you, and again showing how many documents were attached. So, and just a quick question here, that financial tracking worksheet, yep, it is the same worksheet as last year. We do have an updated version that should run a little smoother that's available on our website right now. And I'm going to go live in just a moment and show you where to find that. So again, the dates we're looking at for the annual financial report are May 1st, 2018 through April 30th, 2019. And all troops should submit the annual financial report by June 1st. That's going to be done on the Volunteer Toolkit. So here's that email address, troopbanking@sdgirlscouts.org. I'll put that back on in just a moment, but right now I want to go live so I can actually show you where to find these resources at. So if you log into our website, which again, sdgirlscouts.org, and if you go to our volunteers tab there in the middle, and then on the left-hand side under for troop leaders, and then there in the middle, financials. This is the financials webpage. So this is a great resource for troop treasurers or even troop leaders. It has everything troop finance related. It's got a check request form that maybe parents have purchased troop supplies and they're looking to get reimbursed. That's a great resource for them to fill out to request reimbursement. It's got this bank statement reconciliation. This is actually a step-by-step guide to how to download your bank statement off the Wells Fargo website. You've got an event budget worksheet, a budget planning worksheet. This is a great resource to do with your troop at the beginning of the year. So you can kind of make a budget and plan with the girls what they want to do with their Girl Scout funds. Money earning applications, volunteer essentials. This is huge. This is a guide that we put out every year for troops, and chapter 5 is dedicated to troop finances. So almost any question that you might have in regards to troop finance, answers can be found in this resource. So again, what we're looking for here though, or why I wanted to show you this, is the financial tracking worksheet is available right here. So please have your troop treasurer or your financial person download this form and start filling out the income and expenses that you might have already had. This is what the form looks like. And so I'm just going to kind of fill it out and go step by step. So you want to fill out your troop number, of course, who's preparing the form, and then your beginning balance. Again, this is beginning balance as of May 1st, 2018. You'll put the date in here, but also what we want to put in here is, or what we want to look at is the categories. So what I was saying earlier about making sure the categories line up, troop dues collected, that's an income category that I'm selecting. And I do also want to point out there is a scroll option here. So there's probably 10 to 12 categories. Make sure you use that scroll option. But if I were selecting troop dues, that income category, I definitely want to fill out this description. I want to also make sure that I put the amount in the proper column. So income collected, and it's going to total here. Now, if I hit the income statement tab, you'll see that's been automatically calculated for me. So again, this is such a great resource for our troop leaders to have. This is what they're going to be using when they're filling out the annual financial report. But it's also a great resource to just bring to a troop meeting. If you're a troop treasurer and you want to keep your girls and even their parents up to date with what the troop bank account looks like, you could very easily complete this once a month and bring it in and present it to the girls at the meeting. So that's the financial tracking worksheet. I will say if you do make a mistake and accidentally put an income category column in the expense, let's say I put the $100 here on accident, and if I go to income, nothing will show up. Unfortunately, the worksheet is not smart enough to realize that I put it in the wrong column. So you'll find out very quickly when you're completing this if your running balance here is different than the balance that you get on this income statement. That's a sure way to tell that you've probably got an income or expense category mixed up. I do want to give a shout out to our awesome volunteer, our service unit treasurer out of Sunrise. She recreated this worksheet, so it's hopefully running a lot faster. She also added this instruction tab here, which is a step-by-step guide to how to fill out the financial tracking worksheet. Really, really awesome. So that is the financial tracking worksheet. Again, we're hoping right now that your treasurer or your financial person is currently preparing that for this year. Is there any questions about that? Okay, so let's look at the other resource that's available on, again, on our financials webpage is the annual financial report how-to guide. Again, I included that as an attachment, as a handout in this webinar. If you look in your attachment or your handout section, you'll see this. Or you can go to our website and download it there as well. But it's a step-by-step guide on how to fill out the annual financial report, how to submit the report on Volunteer Toolkit, and all of that great information that I gave you. It actually goes into detail about each category, each income and expense category, and screenshots there of the annual financial report. So very, very useful. Again, if maybe you want to share that with somebody else in your troop who could not view this webinar, great information there as well on how to fill out the annual financial report. So let's go live now and look at logging in. When the troop leader or co-leader is ready to log in and fill out the annual financial report, again, we don't want them to do this until after April 30th because that's when the reporting period is over. But they'd log in with their Girl Scout login information. They'd select the Volunteer Toolkit, and then here across the top, first things that they'll see is this resources, which has amazing everything here that you could want for your troop, everything from training to building a year plan. Lots of good resources there, but what we're looking for is the finances tab. And it's going to look a little bit different because this is an admin view, but you're going to see something very similar to this. Your income and your expenses here. And this is what you're going to fill out. So a lot of questions were asked last year as to why the leader would be filling this out and not the treasurer. And we just really felt like we wanted a kind of shared checks and balance system, since the treasurer is the one that's hopefully filling out this financial tracking worksheet throughout the year. Once the reporting period's over, they give it to their leader, and then the leader has a chance to look over this information and actually upload it onto Volunteer Toolkit. So it's just a checks and balance system and gives the troop leader and treasurer a way to work together on troop finances. So I'm going to put this information back up here. Again, this is my email. I check that troop banking email every day, and I try to respond in at least 2 to 3 business days to all emails That's my direct line. If you have any annual financial report questions or just any troop banking questions at all, please don't hesitate to give me a call. That is all I have tonight. Did anybody have, is there any other questions or anything else that I can answer? So question is, I don't see the drop down on the category. I'm working on a Mac. Okay, that's a great point. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Chula. If you are working on a Mac, we have a Google Sheets version, or a Google Sheets version that I can email you. We've just found that it works a lot better for our Mac users than the Excel version. And this is for the financial tracking worksheet. So I can email that link to you after the presentation. So again, if you would like a Google Sheets version of the financial tracking worksheet, please feel free to contact me and I will send that to you. I'm definitely going to, this webinar has been recorded, so hopefully I can put that up on the website. We do have another webinar coming up in April that you can sign up for as well. And I will get all those Google Sheets requests sent out tonight. All right, one more question here. This is a question about starting balance. This is for a brand new troop who was not started as of May 1st. Yes, so the question is, what should their starting balance be since they're a brand new troop? Just use your initial deposit into the account. So usually Wells Fargo asks for $35 to $50 to open up the troop bank account. That's the figure that I would use as your starting balance. Okay, thank you for joining me this evening. I will stay after a little bit longer and answer more questions, and please feel free to email me if you have anything else. Have a great night.